In this lecture, we will discuss about assignment solution of week 6 of subject microwave integrated circuit. Week 6 is all about microwave amplifier, gain and stability. So let's start. Question number 1. The condition for unconditional stability of amplifier is, so which condition is satisfying the unconditional stability of amplifier? So for amplifier to be unconditionally stable, the input reflection coefficient and output reflection coefficient must be less than 1, and tau L and tau S, that is source reflection coefficient and load reflection coefficient is also less than 1. So that is satisfied by the condition C. Okay, so T in means input reflection coefficient and T out means output reflection coefficient magnitude always less than 1, as well as source reflection coefficient and load reflection coefficient product must be less than 1. Everything must be less than 1. So answer is C. If amplifier is unconditionally stable for all passive loads, then what would be the location of load and source stability circle? So if amplifier is unconditionally stable, so if you refer the theory of amplifier unconditional stability, then load stability circle is within the Smith chart and source stability circle is also within the Smith chart. So load and source both are inside the Smith chart, and for conditionally unstability, both are outside the Smith chart. So the answer is B. So load stability is completely inside the Smith chart and source are also inside the Smith chart. Everything is inside the Smith chart for unconditional stability, and for conditional unstability, both are outside the Smith chart. So answer is B. The load impedance of line is equal to characteristic impedance. This can be plotted on the Smith chart in the center. Assume that inductor is added in series with the load. So if inductor is added in series with the load, then what would be the resultant impedance to be plotted on the ZY Smith chart? So if you add inductance, so definitely the Smith chart is moves in the clockwise direction and it will go up to the upper half of the Smith chart. So the answer is A. It is upper half of the Smith chart in clockwise direction. So adding inductor in series, that turns the Smith chart to rotate clockwise direction and in the upper direction. Okay, next the same example. And what if the capacitor is added? Okay, so if you add the capacitor in series with the load, then Smith chart is also shift toward the lower side and in the anti-clockwise direction. By adding inductor, it is shift into clockwise. By adding capacitor, it in series, it rotates in the anti-clockwise direction and it is in the lower half of the Smith chart. So answer is D. So if inductor is added, then it moves upward, and if capacitor is added in series, then it moves downward. So the answer is D. The same question, and what if the capacitor is added in shunt with the load? Okay, capacitor is added in shunt with the load. So definitely, if you add the capacitor, then Smith chart rotates in the downward direction in the lower half of the Smith chart. But here the Smith chart rotates in the clockwise direction rather than anti-clockwise direction. So answer is B. Okay, so inductor means upward direction, capacitor means downward direction. But if capacitor in series, it is in clockwise direction, sorry, anti-clockwise direction, and for capacitor in shunt, it turns the Smith chart in lower half of the Smith chart in clockwise direction. So answer is B. The radius of the source stability circle is so if you refer the stability criteria for amplifier, then you will find this equation. So the answer is A. Okay, the radius of the source stability circle, it is the equation S mode of S12 multiplied by S21 divided by S11 square minus delta square. So this is radius of the source stability circle. So answer is A. The radius of the load stability circle, so instead of in source stability circle we have S11, so in load stability circle we have S22. Okay, so the answer is B. Upper portion remains same, S12 multiplied by S21, but in lower half we have S22 square minus delta square. So this is answer B. The center of the source stability circle, so source stability circle we have S11, so the answer is B. S11 star minus delta star S22 divided by S11 square minus delta square, and here the star represent the complex conjugate. Next, center of the load stability circle, so for load we used S22 in place of S11. So in previous equation whatever the value of S11, replace it by S22. So the answer is C. Okay, S11 in place of S11, here S22, here S22 represent S11, and here S11 in place of S22 is given. Okay, delta remains same. So the answer is C. S22 star minus delta star S11 divided by S22 square minus delta square. So the answer is C. The transducer power gain for amplifier can be expressed as. So the transducer power gain equation is it is the ratio of power delivered to load divided by average source power. So it is indicated by D. So PL divided by PAVS. So PL is the load power and PAVS is the average power delivered to the source, available source. Okay. So PL divided by PAVS. So answer is D. Clockwise movement along a constant resistance circuit in the upper half of the Smith chart. So it is the given is the what is the position of inductor, whether it is what is the value, it increase or decrease. So for upper half, definitely the resistance inductance value is increasing. Okay, so if you move clockwise and in the upper and you move upward direction, then definitely the inductor is in the series part, so inductor value is increasing. So answer is B. Okay. Now it's the same question but in reverse direction. In place of clockwise, here counterclockwise movement is given, and we are moving towards the lower half of the Smith chart. That is, so definitely the value of capacitor turns into increase. So if we move clockwise direction, the value of capacitor is decrease. Okay, if you move increase, and if you move in the anti-clockwise direction, the capacitor value is decrease. So if you move in the clockwise direction, the capacitor value increase, and for anti-clockwise direction, capacitor value is decrease. So the answer is C. Okay, which option is correct? So series inductor can be modeled by a short circuit length of high impedance microstrip line. So only answer A is correct, because series inductor cannot be modeled by a short circuit length of low impedance microstrip line. It is generally represented in high impedance microstrip line. So the answer is A. Now the signal flow graph is given. What is the value of V3 by V1? So in this signal flow graph, you can see that the S21 is the gain and S32 is also the gain. Both are in same direction. Okay, so both are multiplied. So say V3 by V1 is equal to S21 multiplied by S22 divided by 1 minus S21, because S21 is the in opposite direction in compared to both the gain. So the answer is A. S21 multiplied by S32 divided by 1 minus S22. Now transistor has following scattering parameter matrix at 2 gigahertz is given. S11, S22, S12 and S21 is given. We have to determine whether the transistor is conditionally stable or potentially unstable. So in order to check the conditional stable criteria, we have to find the value of K and delta. So value of K is found by this equation. K is equal to 1 minus mod S11 square minus S22 square plus delta square divided by 2 S12 S21. So in order to find the value of K, we need to find delta first. So what is the value of delta? So it is the equation that given by this equation. Delta is equal to mod S11 S22 minus S12 S21. Okay, and for unconditional stability, both K value must be greater than 1 and delta value must be less than 1. So if you put all this value, you have to put only the magnitude. Okay, no need to put the angle criteria. Okay, so if you put this value, then we will find that the K value is less than 1. Okay, so K less than 1, that means it is unstable system. So the answer is B. Okay. For unilateral device, the condition must satisfy. For unilateral device, the current flow from port 1 to port 2, okay, reverse current flow is not possible. So for unilateral device, always S12 is equal to 0. Okay, power from 1 to 2 is 0, but 2 to 1 is not 0. Okay, so at S21 is equal to 0, that is wrong. Okay, S21 that is not equal to 0 for unilateral devices. So S12 is equal to 0. So answer is B. For a device to be unconditionally stable, which condition must satisfy? R and C denotes the center and radius of the stability circle respectively. The subscript L and S stand for load side and source side respectively. So this is the condition is given. For unconditional stability, which condition is true? So this condition is true. B. Mod CS minus RS mod list must be greater than 1 for all mod S11 less than 1. And similarly, mod CL minus mod RL must be greater than 1 for S22 less than 1. Okay, so condition B is only true. A and C are wrong. So answer is B. Transistor has following parameter S matrix parameter with a given 2 gigahertz frequency. We have to find the value of center of the load stability circle and radius of source stability circle. So this is the equation for finding center of load stability circle. S22 minus delta S11 star and whole star divided by S22 square minus delta square. So first you have to find the value of delta. So I have already discussed in the previous 2 to 3 MCQ the value of how to find the value of delta. So delta is equal to mod S11 S22 minus S12 S21. Okay, so put the value here and multiply and divide the scattering matrix. We will find the value C is center is equal to 1.59 angle 132. And what is the value of source radius? So it is the equation mod S12 mod S21 multiply divide by S11 square minus delta square. Put the value of delta from previously calculated delta, put the value, you will find the value 0.21. Okay, so this is the answer C. Transistor with S parameter as given S11, S12, S21, S22 at 6 gigahertz. Which of the following gain value are achievable? So we have to find the value of gain. So the equation of the gain is GTU max is equal to 1 upon 1 minus mod S11 square multiplied by S21 square multiplied by 1 upon 1 minus S22 square. Put the value of S11, S22 and S21 in magnitude only. So S11, put the S11 value 0.61, S21 2.24 and S22 is 0.72. You will find the value equal to 11 dB. Sometimes it will also give you 9 dB and 11 dB. So in the case both the answer are correct, 9 as well as 11. So I have taken the here Kinjal is for kindly refer this both the equations. So C value is 11. Okay. Now again transistor with following parameter has given at frequency 6 GHz. Which of the following statement is correct? So for that we have to find the value of delta and as well as value of K. So value of the equation for K is given this and delta is given like this. If K greater than 1 and delta less than 1, then kindly follow these rules, and though it is considered as a unconditionally stable. But if K is less than 1 and delta is less than 1 or greater than 1, then it is conditionally unstable. So here the answer is we are getting is delta. So answer is A. We are getting the value of delta as 0.4048 and K is equal to 3.05. So K is greater than 1 and delta is less than 1. So it is unconditionally stable. Find the value of input reflection coefficient if all the parameters are given with load reflection coefficient is also given. So in order to find the input reflection coefficient in terms of load reflection coefficient, this is the equation. So mod T in is equal to S11 plus S12 S21 tau L divided by 1 minus S22 tau L. Put the values of S11, S22, S21 and S22 and tau L in magnitude form. You will get the value answer C. So magnitude is 0.59 and angle is 119. Okay. Find the value of output reflection coefficient. S parameters are given and if source reflection coefficient is also given. So in order to find the output reflection coefficient in terms of source reflection coefficient, this is the equation. So sigma out is equal to S22 plus S12 S21 TS divided by 1 minus S11 TS. Put all the values in magnitude form, you will get the value 0.59 angle minus 39.6. So this is the answer. When reactive element is connected in series with the load, then impedance point on the Smith chart circle will. So if you add the reactive component means inductor or capacitor in series with the load, then always see Smith chart moves toward the constant resistance circle. Okay, so answer is A. For unilateral device, choose the answer. For, as I told earlier in previous MCQ, then unilateral device S11 is equal to 0 and input reflection coefficient must be equal to S11 and output reflection coefficient must be equal to S22. So A and B both are correct. Okay. Next, which option is correct? So series inductor can be molded by short length of high impedance microstrip line. As I have discussed previously, series inductor is used generally in high impedance microstrip line. So answer A is correct. For unilateral transducer power gain, which of the following conditions should be satisfied? For unilateral power gain, the source reflection coefficient complex conjugate, that is equal to S11. Similarly, load reflection coefficient is equal to complex conjugate of S22, and S12 must be equal to 0. For unilateral device, we have seen S12 must be equal to 0 is the first condition, and these are the second. So answer is D. So that's all from my side. I hope you have enjoyed this lecture so much. This video information may be beneficial to you for current as well as upcoming NPTEL session. In next lecture, we will discuss about assignment solution of week 7 of microwave integrated circuit. So till then, be happy, be safe, be fearless, and keep faith in Almighty. Thank you very much.